Hello, everyone. I welcome you to another podcast session, continuing on with our decision making series. In our session today, I would like to talk about what are some of the simple ways that you could adapt to avoid being an impulsive buyer and not indulging in impulsive decision making. Impulsive decisions are usually those that never fetch any good result because we buy on impulse without any forethought and without having any due consideration of what consequences are to be followed. And to explain you this in a way that you could get it, I would like to share few instances from my own personal life. So before becoming a coach, while I worked in a corporate and was someone who earned really good enough in, I should say, six figures, I was, in a way, was an impulsive buyer because money was never an issue to me even today. But back then, it was more of me not being disciplined enough with the money part. So anything that I would find online, or if I were to go shopping, half a dozen things that I would just buy on impulse. As a result, the consequences were, as I just mentioned, buying stuff that I never wanted or was in need of and wasting money. But I could not continue this, and my entrepreneur journey taught me the financial discipline. Because once we are an entrepreneur and with a limited budget, before I really hit those revenue figures, this was a needed trait that I had to adapt. And it was at that point I realized how this impulsive buying, this decision to just go and buy stuff without any forethought, had become a regular part of my personality. And I had a lot of trouble overcoming it because of the losses that I had incurred, because it was not really that initially I was able to be as financially disciplined as I am today. Eventually, even in my entrepreneurial journey, I ended up buying a lot of marketing programs, tools, lead, anything that I thought would help my client or me and help me generate a good profits. So just this habit continued. Only thing that differed here was the purchase of products. But as a result of an impulsive buying, whether you do it for your business or for your own personal use, I incurred the same consequences. I ended up buying apps, programs, tools, methods, and even investing in marketing programs that was completely not in sync with my coaching services. Now, this was a sunk cost now because there was no ROI of it. There was no return on investment, which was counted as an expense, and against the revenue, it counted as something that I was just wasting money instead of making any good use of it. So friends, one of the most key thing that I learned from my coach, and I'm going to share this with you here in decision making, is if you are an impulsive decision maker, just like me, whether you are an impulsive buyer who just decides on the go to buy things or decide to do things, either ways, my coach taught me, and which I'm about to share with you, is impulsivity has an element of time. Why we are impulsive? Because we do not give a forethought and enough time for us to decide. So in order to get rid of this habit, what we need to do is use the same feature of it, which is time, and do the opposite, which is give it enough time. Give it a 3-hour break, a 1-day break, or a 3-day break. And believe me, it worked wonders for me. So tomorrow or any other time, if you feel you need to buy this thing or do this thing, and you get into your impulsive mode, which is the most common issue for most of us who suffer from either impulsive buying or impulsive decision making, or deciding to do things on an impulse, use the technique of adding the same feature of time as a break to it. So give yourself a break. If you are willing to buy something, give a break of 3 hours, come back to it, and you will find that your emotion toward purchasing of that thing has changed. Because as per neuroscience, our emotions only last for 1.53 seconds. And if we are able to really control that, we move towards being much more emotionally intelligent. Same way, if you are deciding on an impulse, you found a job opportunity, the HR is persuading you to say a yes to the offer which you are not too sure about, or to a compensation they had offered which you still want to bargain, or there is a decision in your personal life which you feel you've just taken it on an impulse and you want to kind of work through it. Give yourself a time break. The time break can be of ranging between what suits you best. There's no casted in stone method here. It can be 3 hours, it can be a day, or it can be 3 days. For me, a 1 day break, a day which is a 24-hour of break, works best. What may work best for you may differ from what worked best for me. But try this, and through this profound and a very simple way, believe me, you will be able to get rid of this impulsivity in decision making, and also in any kind of purchase or behavior that you may indulge in. Well, friends, that's all for today. My 1 day break has helped me really discipline my financial and brought me into a much better position that I was in a few years ago. I hope this technique might help you in similar ways. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.